I'm off a second. Hi, everybody.
Hello, hello.
Welcome to the Sisters of the Mystical Tarot. And as Marina likes to say, I will be your what do you call
Guide.
it? Your guide for the evening.
Yes.
And we have with us the lovely Marina, the beautiful Val, and the gorgeous Sharon below. So Allie is
The gorgeous.
currently
Did you say?
over
Did you just
at the
say the
Cool Club.
gorgeous Sharon?
So yes, Allie is
Oh my God!
mark your calendar.
Oh, thank you. I needed that. The way I'm feeling.
Yes.
I'm telling you. And Allie is over on the Cool Crone right now, who is currently doing this wonderful thing called what is she calling it now? Vision
Reveal the future.
Reveal the future. That's what she's calling it. And it's just a time where everybody gets together. Those of us who go on with her, those who are just in the chat, and we all do like a meditative time together to push out what we see for the future that's better. And it's just the more there are with us, the better, the stronger that future is going to be. Jesus very clearly stated, where two or more of us are gathered.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
That just makes our prayers that much more powerful. So,
Yes.
there's a whole bunch of people in the chat, and if I go start running through all the names, we won't get anything else done. So, hello to everybody. I don't want to exclude anyone, but hello to everybody. So,
Yes.
do you want me to go ahead and do the time thing while we're talking about?
Well,
Oh, yeah.
I just want to say
Reveal the
one
future?
thing before we start.
Yes.
I'm not feeling great. I suspect I have a bacterial gut infection, and I've been sick for over
You
a
need to
week.
go. You just
No. If I need
will.
no, I think I'm okay. I'm stabilizing, but I really need everybody's healing vibes and love because this
Absolutely.
is slow going. So I
Absolutely.
would like to avoid going on antibiotics, but I will if I really have to. So that's why I
Yes.
look a little, my eyes look like they're
She looks
dead,
gorgeous. Just tell her the truth.
and I
She
have a
looks
headache.
gorgeous.
So
Yes.
anyways, you got, I didn't want to miss because I wanted to be in this collective energy.
That's good. Well,
That's how I, when I
we'll
had
send you
COVID, I
energy.
was
I'll send you energy after this. I just want to say exactly what Shari was saying about our time. We're changing our time here
Yes,
to an
thank
hour
you.
and a half later for sisters to accommodate the Reveal the Future shows that the Cool Crone is having, because those meditations are going to shift the world. And we all really are called to contribute our energy to that. So pushing the Sisters of the Mystical Tarot an hour and a half into the night is our way of being able to free ourselves up to participate as well. And we hope
And
all of you
supporting
do
them.
too. And also, so we'll be starting our new starting time, Pacific time, will be 4:30, 8:30 Eastern time. So starting next week, that's when you can tune in and see us. We'll put reminders in our community page so you can remember that. And
at the earlier time, you'll either be seeing us as one of the ones on the show with Colleen of the Cool Crone, or you'll see us in the chat.
Right.
With her, so
exactly.
But just our way of accommodating what she's trying to get accomplished here, which is just so very important to what
it is.
We're all about.
It's shifting the world, because when a group is gathered like that, the power is magnified so immensely. Just hugely.
Just to tell you how synchronicity can really come in. I just got my new box from Hay House Deck Club, Oracle Deck Club. Mm-hmm. One of the Oracle decks that came in is called the Golden Future. And
Nice.
it's all broke down. I mean, they've even got it broken down into like timelines of when to expect certain things to
Oh, wow.
start shifting and changing.
Mhm.
But I've slowly, I always skim through the books when I get a new deck just to figure out what the author's intention is with that deck.
Yeah.
And this has not been a skim through. This is 3 days and I'm still only
Oh,
that
wow.
far into it. I
And-
am literally going through it and highlighting and taking notes, and it's like,
Yeah.
holy crap, this
I-
is really
think I wrote that down when you showed us that before, and I said that's on my to buy list.
and it's Diana Cooper is the author. And you
Nice.
can get
Golden
it from Hay
Future.
House.
I'm going to write
It's,
that down.
Nice. I love that.
yeah, the
Diana
Golden
Cooper.
Future Oracle Guidebook
I
by
love
Diana
that.
Cooper. And you can it actually goes on sale. It's either this week or it's next week. I'm not sure.
Ooh, really?
'Cause
Awesome.
that's one thing I like with the deck club is we tend to get decks a couple of weeks before they
Ooh,
hit the market. So we kind of get them a little early so that by the time they hit the market, we're ready to use them, So
love
that's
that.
kind of cool. I know I watched I hopped on a live Zoom with one of the authors. What's his name? Radley Valentine.
Yeah.
He just did a new animal guide tarot deck
Yeah. Oh.
that he did by himself, and
Ooh.
he did a live Zoom yesterday, like an hour, a little over an hour long,
Oh.
going through it, what his intentions were, what just all this stuff. He even did some free readings for people, just sporadically. He would pull out of the chat,
Nice.
and it was phenomenal. I mean,
That's nice.
and there's another deck too, but I'll have to dig it out. Maybe next time I can show that one off. But this one, yeah, when I got this deck and started reading it, it was just like all the bells and alarms were like ding, 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 ding,
Yeah, I
ding.
love
This
that.
is exactly what Colleen's been
That's
doing.
I wrote that baby down. I'm going to buy that when it's on
There you
sale.
go. Yeah.
So you were going to talk about what paranormal and kind of
Paranormal. That was
experiences
my topic
we've
for
had.
tonight was, have you ever had anything paranormal happen to you? I think most of us have. And if so, what was either your first experience or your most memorable experience? Because if y'all are like me, you've got so many that I had to stop and think about which one do I want to talk about and not take up the whole time. So, because I could spend the whole hour talking about it.
Mhm.
So I'll go last. I'll let Marina, if you would like to start, just either the first experience you had or whatever is the most memorable experience that you've had.
Yeah. It's funny, but yeah, my first experience is also my most memorable experience. And that was, I was in my teens. I was maybe 14, 15, somewhere in there. And generally, I tend to be a night owl, right? I do my best work in the middle of the night and so on. Well, this particular evening, I just felt so tired. I went to bed really, really early. And I woke up to what sounded like someone tapping on my bedroom window. And so, yeah, that kind of woke me up, and I was thinking, what, there's no trees, there's no branches, there's nothing there that could be, doing it. What is it? And I sat up and I really looked. And on the outside of my bedroom window was my grandmother, my dad's mother. And I was kind of taken aback because at the time, she was living in Croatia. I was in Canada. It's not like, she was just down the road. And even though it kind of took me back a little, it didn't scare me. Like there was no fear or whatever. So I kind of looked at her, and well, in Croatian, we call grandmothers baka. rather than grandma or whatever. It's Bucka.
Mhm.
And so I looked at her and I said, Bucka, is that you? And she said, yes. She said, I have to come and say goodbye. You know, I talked to your parents and I asked them if they could please send you back home for a visit in the summer. And we just couldn't make it happen. So I had to come and say goodbye. And I'm getting shivers just
I
when
got
think
the
about
chills
it.
up and down.
Yeah. And I looked and I thought, okay, you know, I didn't really quite understand what she was saying, but it was like, okay, all right, I get it, as much as I could get it. And then off she went, and I laid back down, and I thought, what just happened? And then it dawned on me. I thought, oh my God, she died. She died. So I woke up, fully woke up, went out. My parents were still awake. They were in the living room. And I said to my dad, Dad, I think Baka Yaka just passed away. And the look on his face was like shock. And he said, yeah, we just got the telegram.
Oh,
I went, okay, all right. And it was just, there was nothing scary about it. It felt really, really good.
she brought her loving energy to you.
She
And it
did.
was all about
She
love
did.
and
And,
connectedness.
you know, it's funny because I didn't see it as a child. I could certainly see it as an adult, but she made no bones about the fact that out of all her grandchildren, I was her favorite.
Mhm.
And, you know, kind of got me in a
I
hot
think
on
you
her.
both had the gifts, the real strong gifts. And
Yes.
that's she knew you were
Yes.
like her. And
Yeah.
Mm.
So that was, yeah, I've had others since then, but that one just really struck with me, not only for the message, but for the fact that there was no fear. It's, yes, I was seeing a quote unquote ghost,
Mhm.
but it wasn't a scary, you know, it was, yeah.
It was a visitation by a loved one, and that
Yes.
certainly, you know, you
Yeah.
were open and could receive that as love energy, as it
Yeah.
was meant to be, which is really, really nice. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
So
so
yeah,
nice.
that's my story.
Oh God, I mean, we all have so many. I'm going to pick one that was fairly recent and pretty strange. It was like 4 o'clock in the afternoon. It wasn't even dark out. And I had just done a show, and I was walking down there's a little step down from my office into my family room. And then beyond that is the kitchen. And I was just glancing over, and I saw myself walk. I was in the kitchen and I was walking like to the pantry, and I watched myself. I full on looked and turned. It wasn't a corner of the eye thing. I watched myself in bright light, full Technicolor. I mean, you could reach out and touch me kind of thing. And I watched myself, and I said, okay. And then I went by the pantry, and I couldn't see after that because I had already disappeared. So I sat down on the couch and said, okay, what was that? And what was that for? And, I still to this day think that the way time is, it's kind of looped. It isn't in a linear fashion. And you can be at any points of time that you want to be and see points of time that you want to see, whether it's this far in the past or this far in the future. And it was showing me how flexible time is. That's kind of what I got from that. But I thought that was really weird. Sort of like the time about a few months before that when I ordered Starbucks and on my phone, and I was going to go pick it up. It's about 5 minutes from my house, and it was 11 o'clock. And I said, okay, pickup time, got to pick it up by 11. But at 11 o'clock, it was ready. I jump in my car and I go down there. I park, I get out of the car, I go in because there's no drive-through. I pick my drink up, I go back into the car, and I drive to the stoplight that would turn onto my street, and I look at the clock and it says 11 o'clock. So I left my house at 11 and it says 11 o'clock, and I'm just about to turn onto my street. And there was this thing that happened, like this spatial realignment. I can't even describe it, because you could feel something magnetic, something happened. Like like a remorphing of time. I don't even know how to describe it, but it got my attention. And I said, whoa. Time is not what you think it is. So that's two time things that happen.
Exactly.
Yeah. So that's what I got.
All right, Miss Sharon.
Wow. Well, it's so many. I have so many. It's hard to narrow it down. But what I'm going to, I mean, the most impactful I've talked about a lot is, Lisa from Spirit Intuitive Tarot, about her mother visiting me while she was on life support. The hummingbird that tapped it. Anyways, I've told that story lots, but that's the most impactful one I've ever experienced. This is a fun one. When I was married to Sue, we decided there was this hotel, this inn that was going to be torn down, and it was said to be haunted. It was called the Cherry Point Inn in Victoria. And it's this dilapidated place. But anyways, we went to go, and the 6-year-old was supposed to be, people would see the 6-year-old. So we're in our room. And, the bathroom and the tiles, they're all from pre-1900. It was, really an old place for these parts. And so what we did was we lit candles, and I think we had cookies and muffins. We had treats for this little girl. And Sue, being a preschool teacher, we sang lots of young people's songs, right? Trying to entice her to come in. So nothing happened. So we decided we'll go to sleep. So just as I'm falling asleep, that in-between time,
Yes.
this girl, the door bursts open. She comes into the center of the room like, here I am. And she's in the petticoat, the petticoats and the tall leather laced up boots. And she was laughing. I could see her really clearly. I'm saying to Sue, she's here, she's here, she's here. And it was just fantastic. It was a great experience. That little girl was so full of life and vim and vigor. I think she was so happy that we called her, because the place was soon to be torn down. And it was great. So I'm having to relay to Sue what I'm seeing, and hearing and so on. And we were just both so tickled.
No.
It's great. My son, of course, is very active. He does things all the time. My grandmother, when she passed, she left lots of signs. And this is when I was only 20, and I can't remember really any sort of things before 20. Anyways, if I did, I wasn't aware of them. But what she did was, my mom had a lot of sisters, so they came over to the home and looking after their dad. And one aunt pulled out, and this is be the one that wouldn't believe, like staunch Irish Catholic.
Yeah.
No boy, does she believe, right? She pulls out this drawer. It was a dunk drawer, and there was these blue flames whirling around in it, not burning anything, but just there.
Whoa.
Another thing that happened was another night, 2 sisters, they went down into the basement where there was a suite, and they clearly heard their mother calling them by name. So that freaked them out. At the same time, my grandmother went over, this is Vancouver proper, across the bay is North Vancouver and West Vancouver. So North Vancouver, my grandmother is taking the sliding glass door that leads out to the pool and slamming it. Slamming and finding, and my uncle was by himself because his wife was looking after my grandfather. So anyways, he finally gets up. Her name was Cecilia. She sits up and says, "Sis, leave me alone. I know it's you." And she stopped. West Vancouver, to the west, community to the west, she's at my other uncle's house, and his wife was with her father. And my grandmother's turning this lamp on and off that hasn't worked for decades, but it's just this fancy lamp that sits in the bedroom. I mean, she did tons of things like that. But it's funny, the men, I suspect, never thought in paranormal before, but they immediately knew it was her.
Mhm.
Yeah. So
That's cool.
yeah.
Y'all all
Anyways, I have more, but I know we're
experiences.
short for time.
Y'all all have such happy experiences.
Oh, yeah. I
Mine weren't.
can't think of a negative one.
No, I mean, growing up, off and on throughout my life, there's been that you see things out of the corner of your eyes.
Mhm.
You feel that cold chill when somebody walks by you. My husband likes to come tug on my hair now.
Oh,
he,
yeah.
he gets a kick out of that because I never cut my hair when we were together because he liked it long. It was like down past my waist long.
Wow.
And the deal was if I kept it long, you had to brush it. And so he would sit and brush it, and then
Aw.
after he passed, I cut all my hair off because it was like, I'm not brushing this shit. You gotta be crazy.
Exactly.
And it was, I don't know, it was just like making a fresh start, sort of like, I just changed it. And when I started growing it back out again, he started tugging on my hair again. So it's
Oh,
like,
wow.
all
That's
right,
funny.
Wow.
that's
Yeah.
enough.
Oh,
But it's kind of cool. But I think the most memorable event that ever happened to me, and I know I've shared it before, but when I was about, I guess I was around 11, 10 or 11, we lived in this apartment, two-bedroom apartment that was very haunted. The back bedroom stayed cold all the time. We lived in Florida and it was in the summer. The back room didn't need AC. That's how cold it stayed in that room all the time.
mhm.
Morning, noon, and night. Didn't matter. Temperature didn't change. And none of us would go in there. I mean, my brother and I would sleep with my mom in her bed, you know. But I think the wildest things would get moved that would be impossible for he or I to move because we were just little kids. But she would find things taken down off of top shelves and put somewhere else or moved out into the yard or one time into the car. It was like just weird stuff. Um, but I was at home and when you walked into the apartment, the living room, dining room, kitchen was like one big rectangular box, right? And so you had the living room, and you had the dining room, and then you had the kitchen with like a breakfast bar dividing the kitchen from the rest of the place. And it was just one long room. And the refrigerator was on one side where the door frame would have been compared to the breakfast bar. And she was doing something in the kitchen and she walked over and she opened the refrigerator door to get something out of the refrigerator, and it was like something punched her. She literally, you saw her whole body, like if somebody was to body slam you in the
Yeah.
chest.
Wow.
You could see her whole body cave in and she flew straight back into the back wall.
Oh my
A good
gosh.
5, 6 feet straight. I mean,
Whoa.
feet off the ground, whoosh, just straight
Wow.
back. Big bruise on her chest. She would wake up
Oh,
with bruises and scratches on her in the mornings. Whatever was in that apartment did not like her or did not like
I'd be like telling it to get the heck out of Dodge.
I don't know what it
Yeah.
was. We put up with a lot of the little things, and she would put up with the scratches and the bruises and the little pinches she would get when she walked through a room. But when that happened, it was about 2 or 3 weeks we moved after that happened, because whatever it was hit her with such force. And
And
I'm
it didn't follow you. That was
and
good.
I'm watching this. It's like right dead center in
Yeah.
my line of vision.
Wow.
And I just see her whole body cave in, and she flew straight back. And I was thunderstruck. I couldn't speak. I didn't know what to say. I was 11, 10, 11, 12, something like that. My brother was just a toddler.
Well, what did your mom say?
She didn't say anything. She
Wow.
stood up and she kind of shook it off and started rubbing her chest, and she pulled up her shirt. You could just see this huge bruise right in the middle,
Okay, right there. The kids would be packed up in the car.
Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly.
And
Yeah.
we were in a situation where right then we couldn't have gone anywhere if we wanted to. We, just money was that tight, and we had nowhere to go. But I know it was like the next day or two, she got on the phone to my grandparents, and within a week or two after that, we were moving out. So, whatever she called and told my grandmother, who said, "Yeah, no, we're moving you." And since then, as I've gotten older, like I said, I've had things happen. I've lived in haunted places. I've visited haunted places. It doesn't really bother me that much. I just kind of ignore it. Unless they come up and try to make conversation with me, I just kind of ignore them. Or I always have anyway. Now when something happens, I'm like, okay, cut it out. I'm busy.
Yeah, that's my whole thing would be like, unless I felt like they were here for some, communication, they'd be like, I'd be like out.
Yeah. No,
That's
it never comes across as somebody trying to get my attention for something, but just somebody trying to just mess with me.
Yeah.
Is how it always comes across to me. It's like, okay, just go away right now.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
don't have time to deal with you. And
well, that's what I tell people. Like, I'm doing a reading for somebody, and then somebody comes, and I'm like, okay, hold on. I'm doing the Akashic record reading here. And they do the whole, they don't.
No, wait.
They'll
wait
push
their
it.
turn.
Yeah,
Most of the time, but that's the most impactful event. And it didn't even happen to me. It was I just witnessed it, and there was
that
no
you saw it though, right?
Yeah,
I mean, you saw the
was,
force by which your mother was pushed back. You couldn't not see
like
that.
she was thrown.
That's like
literally her feet left the ground.
Yes.
And her whole body went like somebody had just hit her in the solar plexus with a 2x4 or something and just knocked her back, and that freaked me out.
That would
say the least. And
I've had lots of things, fall, and I watch it fly off the shelf for no reason, that kind of stuff. It's my son, he's just so tickled he can do stuff like that. But that's
I've not seen or had any telekinesis kind of events. I haven't seen any, and I don't seem to have any around me like that. So yeah.
But that was the most impactful one that I ever experienced.
That would be impactful. Like, holy cow.
Absolutely. Holy cow is right.
It made me scared as hell. I think when I look back and think about it, because this week I was thinking about how I wanted to phrase this. And I think it had a lot to do with why I took my abilities and locked them in the closet for so long. Was because that freaked me out to the level of I don't want to know about that. I don't want to mess with that. No, that doesn't exist. It's not real. And that was the way I dealt with it. And so all those abilities got locked in the closet until they wouldn't stay anymore. And now when they come out and want to play, it's like, I'm busy right now. Go away. I don't mind telling them that. So
absolutely.
I mean, that's the one thing I've learned. You have to be forceful. So, it's
boundaries.
Not now.
Yeah, I just want to remind everyone, because a lot of people have joined us, later on.
Yeah.
Just wanted to remind everyone that effective next week,
Mhm.
Sisters of the Mystical Tarot is going to be coming to you an hour and a half later than normal. And that, for the time being, is going to be our new timeline. And there's a good reason we're doing that. And that is Colleen from the Cool Crone has started a program called Reveal the Future. And it's an opportunity for like-minded people to get together and to do a meditation and a visualization of the kind of world that we want to see. And when a group of people get together with that, laser focused vision, we can achieve an awful lot.
Yep.
So in order to be available, so that we can be on her show, and so that we can provide her channel, and especially that show, with support, we are moving our time so that we can achieve both. And this is for a really, really, really good purpose. And I think for those of
Absolutely.
you that want to join us at Colleen's channel during the 5 p.m. Mountain Standard Time slot, by all means, and then you can follow us back here to Sisters for 6:30. But it's important. And the other thing, don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Go to these ladies' channels. Make sure that you give them a like, share, subscribe. Leave a
Absolutely.
comment. The show
That
is over.
reminds me, I looked at my subscribers, and every 100 subscribers till I got to 1,000. I mean, I haven't been doing much with my channel, but I promised that when I got to the next 100, that I would give away a reading. So, so if people go to my channel and put comments under this video and say, reading, that sort of thing,
Yeah.
I will copy your names, and then I'll go on my channel, and I'll put it into my magical red box, and I'll pull a
Yes.
name for a free 30-minute reading.
Ooh, there you go.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
There you
Well,
go.
Yeah.
the last
Yeah.
time
I know
checked,
it's
was
growing without me doing anything, but then I'm on your
Yeah.
channels and
Yeah.
other people's channels. So
Yeah.
No, the last time I looked, I think I'm like 8 people away from 2,000. So
good for
I'm
you.
like right there. It has been kind of hanging there for a while now. It's like,
Yeah.
come on, 8 more
Yeah.
people, 8 more people.
Yeah, exactly.
it'll
Yeah.
have to
And
win that.
I'm this
I'm
far
not
away
gonna-
from 2,500. So,
No.
but yeah, go encourage your friends. Call
That's it.
everyone you know and say, listen, I don't care if you want to listen to this woman or not. Just go on her channel.
That's right.
Just go in their
And
channel
click
and
subscribe.
Like and subscribe.
Just
That's
subscribe
Of course,
and hit
make-
a like on something, and then you
and
can
make
go away.
comments on under our videos too, even if it's just emoji,
Yes.
or you
Yeah.
say hi, because that helps.
because that helps push the channel out. So that
I'm
when
at
somebody in the
700 now?
channel starts-
Oh,
yeah.
okay. I'm at 700 now, apparently. So I picked up somebody. Thank you.
Wow.
All right. Well,
Yeah,
I
no.
will. So go to my video after
Go
today's
to
show. Put
Shari's
down your,
channel
say
afterwards and
reading,
hit a
and I'll
reading.
and I'll write down on
So,
slips of paper, put it in
well,
the
we've
box, and I'll
got
do a draw.
30
Yep.
minutes
It'll be
left,
fun.
and
Yes.
we've got 6 questions to go.
All right.
So, first up
Yep.
was artist Liz, and she asked, "Do we see if Trump supporters are starting to see how bad Trump's mental decline is?"
Oh,
right.
gosh.
You're
Yep.
starting to get people openly talk about not voting
Mhm.
or
Yeah.
becoming independents.
Yeah.
Or,
Yeah.
I guess
There's
I'll vote for Biden, kind of like,
there's a lot of them that are starting to see the light, but because they have been so wedded
Mhm.
to the BS that he has been spreading, and they have been so vocal in their support of him, that it's kind of difficult for them now to step back and say, well, sorry, I got it all wrong. So rather than saying that, they're just being very quiet, they're not really saying too much, but I think that their perception has changed. Yeah, I get the 9 of Pentacles. They're paying attention. They want things. They want to get back to some of the niceties, right? When your word was your bond. Yeah, they don't want to have to deal with the BS anymore. So they're realizing it slowly. Yeah, that's what I get.
Yeah, and I get they're realizing the lies.
Yes.
This is all about the lies that are being told, and the lies about Trump and his cognitive shape, and all the way they're spinning everything. There's a moderate GOP faction that have been in line with the Trump stuff, but they're really feeling out of sorts, not wanting to let anyone know by, that they're falling out of that camp.
Yeah.
And I even have some friends who actually voted for Trump, and they went independent after this. They couldn't they didn't even want to be involved. It's become, for the norms who only voted the party ticket, they're all like, oh gosh, this is a bridge too far, but they don't want to say it out loud.
Yeah.
So I think when everyone goes to vote, they're going to find out the polls were not right. The polls didn't make any sense. And it's going to be a pretty good victory for Biden. That's what I'm feeling.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Aaron, what about you? What did you pull?
Well, from my little deck, my Cash Peter like deck, I've got thinking. So there's thinking.
Yeah.
So they're thinking is going, and they're going to have to make a decision. And I think that, some are going to have to vote. They're going to hold their nose when they do it. But I also pulled just another card, but I think there's some that's still buying it. So still buying the dream.
Well, I pull the Magician, and and that's normally looked upon as a really good card. But what I'm getting off of this when I pull this card was they're starting to see him as the charlatan that he is. The pull the rabbit out of the hat. They know that you're not really sawing that woman in half. It all done with mirrors, and it just makes you think you're seeing something. Well, they're finally starting to see him as someone who has just been pulling the wool over their eyes for quite a while. And a lot of cognitive dissonance going on there with people, to admit just to themselves that they were so wrong about someone.
And can you just say GOP, the whole entire GOP taken over by Laura to steer every single dime into the Trump coffers?
Several of their really big donors that give millions of dollars have walked away, and they're not giving money.
I'm telling you, this is the death knolls. You can hear it ring or whatever, trill, whatever you want to say. It is definitely the death knolls of the GOP party for entertainment purposes only. You heard it here.
Yeah. Most definitely.
Yeah, I have a feeling Liz Cheney's going to start another party.
Absolutely.
As well,
She's going to change the name. Yeah.
Yes.
And
Well, thank you, Linda H.
Yeah.
I got another subscriber.
She'll be don't make daddy take you on a hunting trip party.
Yeah.
Yes.
Exactly. Well, you don't want to go on a hunting party.
No, don't want to go on a trip with them.
It might hurt.
Doesn't matter if you wear bright orange.
We're not serious about that. It's
no.
I don't agree with anything she stands for, but the fact that she stood up against the lies.
She has the scruples. She has the conscience.
Yes. It deemed her somewhat in my eyesight when she was willing to stand up against her party and say, no, This is
I'm
wrong.
reading her book right now. It's fascinating what was going on behind the scenes. Just
Oh, I
just
can
ridiculous.
Even
imagine.
though you don't agree with her politics, at least
Exactly.
she has
Yes.
scruples and
Yeah.
she has
Exactly.
a conscience. Thank
Yeah.
God for that.
And
Yeah.
she's willing to
Yeah.
to say the emperor's wearing no clothes.
Yeah.
You know?
Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah. Exactly.
Exactly.
Wonderful.
All right.
Okay.
Next up, we've got Anna Hutchinson is asking what
Oh,
is going to
interesting
happen
question.
now that the buck is saying goodbye early. Will Lauren have to give up her seat to run for buck spot? Oh, that's that congressman that just said he was
Yes, that
running this week.
he
Yes.
was done. He
Is that
was done.
Bobo's? Is that Bobo's old district that she moved out of?
It's
And
the new district she's going for. She wants his seat in that new district.
You know what? It could be. I can't remember if
I can't keep up with
if
her.
it's her, if it's the new one
It's
or
the
if
new one.
he's the old one.
He, re-
Okay, no,
he
that's right.
retired from the new
He
one.
would be
Yeah,
in the new one. Yeah, because she would be running in that district now against an incumbent.
exactly.
And that's going to make it really, really difficult for her. So, oh my gosh,
Especially since her escapades at Beetlejuice's made
oh, well, that's why she was going to have to
I
change
can't believe
districts.
what fell out of my deck on
To give
this.
up her seat.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
Well, the
had
thing is, there'll have to be a special election, right? Before the
No,
general election.
no, no,
they're
because
right in the middle of elections right now.
yeah,
For that seat.
yeah,
Oh.
there is not
They
enough
even put a
time to
placeholder in
have
there.
a special election. So
Oh.
yeah, he walks away and he does kind of the three finger salute
Exactly.
to the GOP as well as to Lauren Boebert.
Yeah.
So there
And
you
it
go.
empties out one more seat of
Hey,
Republican
Allie.
control in the
Exactly.
House.
Exactly.
It takes away one more seat of Republican
Yes.
control.
Yeah. She got her
And,
seat.
Well, I'll tell you, she thinks this is her chance. All I keep getting is she looks at it as her opportunity. Her star is going to rising. It's the
Oh.
star. And it's like hope and opportunity. But here's the bottom of the deck. Walking away. Okay. So no matter what she does, even though no matter how I throw the cards, she's looking pretty good right now. In looking at that as an opportunity, yes. So, but final, even though if she did get that, she is going to end up walking away at some point in the next few years.
I get
Well,
the
People
mood.
are saying she won't even be in
Oh,
it this year, but
She is, yeah, she really is trying to put a positive spin on this, but
She
she
is.
knows that this is that she has been drinking the Kool-Aid and it's starting to come up when she burps. So yeah, I think she realizes that this is not going to work out for her, but she's going to try to put as good a spin on it as she can.
Yeah.
Which, liar's going to lie, right?
what you got, Sharon?
well, it's funny. I was directed to this deck, and now I know why. This is the Ace of Pentacles. So she sees this as a new start, and Pentacles can be votes, like ballots, right? So she sees this as a new start getting into this district. But see, there's a shovel here and, digging a hole. I think she's digging a hole for herself.
Yeah, it's not gonna. She's definitely had the walking away situation.
Yeah.
She's gonna end up.
Yeah, she thinks this is a new beginning, but she's digging herself a hole.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I have to cover up my people on here so YouTube doesn't ding us. This fell out of my deck 3 times while I sat here and shuffled. 3 times the same card came out of my deck, the devil.
Yes.
And
well, that says it all.
It's the fact that she has willingly chained herself to the devil and relishes in that.
Yeah.
Is her downfall. But I'm gonna have to draw clothes on them or something if I keep using this deck. I didn't think about it until somebody else was saying, "Man, you better cover that up because they're gonna ding you for having naked people."
I just want to say hi to Allie in the chat.
Hi, Allie.
Hey, girl.
And there's my girlfriend, my favorite tarot reader. I mean, you're all my favorites, but Jane.
Hi, Jane.
Jane the Seeker Tarot.
Hey, Jane.
And okay,
Next up,
we've got Andrea 54. May I ask Archangel Michael how to strengthen my gifts that the Lord blessed me with and where to start?
you just did.
Yeah. The question was to start. The minute you brought his name into it and said how to strengthen my gifts, before it even got to us, he was working on it. The minute the thought came into your brain, he was working on it.
Absolutely. Yeah. Be willing to listen to the messages that are coming in, because you have the strength to hear the message, and the communication is going to be a nice, solid one. So yeah, the minute that you acknowledge it, that's when it starts. So that's what I get.
That's right. So, Andrea, for you, I get there's a lot of expansion going on. So, congratulations. You are really going for it. And when you ask for blessings and to strengthen your gifts, what's going to happen? You're going to open up, and a whole bunch of expansion is going to happen. So you're going to be connecting, and all of this beautiful energy is going to start coming in, and you're going to be utilizing your gifts.
It'd be like having a full-on marching band coming through your door.
Yes.
So, congratulations.
You ready,
Yes.
Shari?
Yes. Yeah. So you're ready to take action. Here's the Knight of Wands. And it's also the growth. The wands are growth. See how the greenery that's growing out of that wand? So this is, using your creativity. You do have gifts. And it at the bottom of the deck is it does take work and practice. So take lessons. Like if you want to read tarot, for example, there are lots of tarot teachers out there. So do that, or maybe get a reading, see if someone could pick up for you what your stronger gifts are. But also you want to strengthen all your gifts. Like I'm taking a mediumship course where I'm very visual. I'm trying to develop the other clairs as well. So, but you've taken the first step. You've been reluctant, but you're on a mission.
Yep. Well, I pulled for you Commander Ashtar. This is from the Divine Masters. And the card says leadership activation. It's time to evolve. Trust in your ability to guide others. So as you learn, as you grow, you will be bringing others with you who you will teach, and then they will learn and grow. And that's what we're all doing here. We didn't jump on here because we thought it would be cool to have a YouTube channel. Most of us didn't want to have a YouTube channel. Most of us didn't want to even show our faces. But when you get called and you answer the call, not only are you helping others develop their gifts, but your gifts start developing and getting stronger. I mean, when I first got into this, it was like things started popping like crazy. I was like, okay.
First time you ever came on YouTube was on Lisa and my our channel. Yeah.
Perfect.
Y'all had an open mic night. Yep. It was me.
Yeah, we did.
It was Kelly from Dozen Cats and
right.
Kevin from Kevin Loving Vibration.
He had a channel before that, didn't he?
No, he was just starting his channel. He was
and Kevin Lewis started on our channel too.
Yeah.
Lovely. Hold on, I have to check.
Okay, next up, a light worker, 66472. How and when will science be a true equitable workplace for women and minorities?
Ooh, hard to
We're
tell
working
when.
on it.
That's a hard question.
It is coming. I think that
It
it's
is
going to start
coming.
to get much better and better over. I think it's probably going to be another 5 years or so before we start to see the shift where things are going to change. And then once they start, I think it is going to happen fairly quickly. The Ace of Swords. This I'm saying it's starting in about 5 years. And then once there, it's just going to snowball after
And I
that.
have to say, with the advent of people like Diana Pasulka, have faith. They are looking at women now in the science field, and they're looking at them like, man, they're goddesses. They know what they're talking about. So believe it or not, it's already happening.
Yeah.
And Diana Pasulka has an unbelievable following of men who listen to her, who read her books and understand her research and the conclusions she drew. So just have faith it's coming. It is coming. It's happening already.
Sharon?
Yeah. For example, both my daughters are scientists. Now they've had to leave science because my one daughter is ill. The other daughter wasn't making very much money. She was running a lab and they were doing experiments on looking at the causes of autism, very important stuff. But while she was in it, like her boss was a woman, there were lots of women scientists. So it's really changing. Same with my other daughter before she had to leave because of illness. There's lots of women scientists now. I think it's really, really snowballing. I watched this show that's a British show, and it's an A&E show. It's accident and emergency, their emergency wards, departments. There's so many women doctors. This is in England and so on. And there's another one I watched that comes out of Australia. Lots of women doctors. It seems like almost 50-50 or even more. They're really going into the sciences.
Yep.
Well, I pulled a 9 of Pentacles.
Happening.
It's happening, yeah.
It's definitely happening. Now, as most
That's
of
a
you know,
perfect
I
card.
work at a university, and I work in the computer science department.
Mhm.
I've been there for a little over 10 years now, almost 11 years. And when I first started working there, out of all the students that we had, maybe 5% were female.
Mhm.
And out of that 5%, 4% of them were probably foreign, not American.
Right.
In the almost 11 years that I've been there, I have seen a steady increase of female students coming into the program as part of the STEM programs. Our engineering department, which is in another college, university is broken up into college of Sciences, College of Engineering, College of Liberal Arts, etc. We're College of Sciences. We've seen a huge uptick in female participation. Our College of Engineering, they're getting ready. They kind of work with us hand in glove when we do it. We have what they call Science Day or Engineering Day, where they bring high school students over by the busloads to come and see what the students at the university are working on, see about research, see what's possible. And it is really cool to see not only more and more girls showing up for these events, but as the professors and the students come out to show off their research and whatnot, there are more and more females than there are males. We just, in our department alone, computing and informatics, in the last year and a half, we've hired, or 2 years, we've hired 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 female professors, instructors to come on, depending on what level they are. And it's very encouraging to see, that there's more and more females coming in.
The same movement is happening in
Yeah.
the trades,
Mhm.
which is important, like
Yeah.
electrical, plumbing, carpentry,
Yeah,
what's
that's
the
all I
metal
get
work.
College of
Yeah,
the College of
there's so,
Engineering
and my cousin was very,
and all of that.
Sorry,
very
just want to
instrumental in
point
that.
out we've got
Excuse me.
4.5 minutes left. How many questions do we
We've
still
still
have?
We have two
Yeah.
questions
Okay.
left.
All right.
Okay. All right.
Thanks.
Yeah,
Thanks for keeping us on track.
you're more than welcome.
Okay. Next up, what are your thoughts on AI replacing
Oof.
jobs in the future? That goes right along with what we were talking about.
Exactly.
Automation is something that there are certain things that lend themselves very nicely to automation. There are still a larger number of things that AI can't replace. It can't replace, holding someone's hand as they're going through a difficult time or a difficult procedure at hospitals or whatnot. So while the AI might replace some of the things, like sweeping floors, washing floors, no, I don't think that they're going to be able to to replace the human touch. I get the Nine of Swords. This is a almost a needless worry in that there is obvious, not obviously, we are always going to be looking for situations where we can make our lives a little easier and a little more comfortable in terms of some of the equipment that we use, but it will never replace a human being. So, don't give in to the fear.
Yeah. And I pulled compassion, but what they're really talking about is realizing that as AI is coming into the fore, helping us do different things in a mega way, more fields are opening up as CRISPR technology discovers new and new ways to edit genes and understand things. More and more fields are opening up for scientific discovery and exploration in all these many avenues. So as many jobs are going to the AI, more jobs are going to humans to go into new fields of exploration, freeing you up to this. So it's just an opportunity, and it's going to help us really go into the future. That's how I see it.
I agree. I think that's too. These two cards came out together. One was death, but this is just going to be for a new beginning. Like, yes, there are going to be jobs that are going to be done by AI, but that's going to free us up to be so creative. Look, here's the Empress. So with the death card came out the Empress. So I don't think we have to be afraid of it. There may be a few things that, for example, the actors strike, really, they were against AI. I can see that. But I think AI will be doing important things to help us, but I think we'll be going into different kind of creative things where there'll be different jobs that we haven't thought of before.
Yeah.
So, but it also, this is the Empress. This is the mother. This is the human touch. That's the kind of jobs that are going to be more to the forefront, because you can't replace the human. Like teaching, AI is big in teaching, but you can't replace a full,
until they make a human voice that modulates like a human voice. They can't even read books to me, because I don't want to hear somebody go and this happened and that happened.
Exactly.
Well, I pulled a Chariot, which means it's going to march right along. It's coming, whether we want it or not. But as everyone has pointed out, there are certain avenues that will never be able to be replaced by robotics of any kind or AI of any kind.
Can a robotic send healing energy to someone? Maybe.
Exactly. I don't
Yeah.
I
think
mean, there are
so.
some wonderful advantages that are going to come out of it, but it'll never replace the human touch.
Yeah.
It'll
When they
never replace
create the Reiki robot, we'll find out. The
Yes.
visualization robot who can visualize world peace, then we'll know
Yeah.
we're in trouble.
All right.
Yep.
Last but not least, and this is such a great question. Who is your spiritual hero, role model? Who has inspired and influenced the mystical sisters?
Oh, wow.
Well, you're looking at three of them that helped inspire me,
Oh,
right,
geez.
right here sitting with me.
Oh man.
There's many,
Oh, you're
many
sweet.
others. Um,
That's so kind. That is so kind.
Uh,
You know what? I would have to agree in a lot of ways, Sherry, that this it is the women in this community that inspire me every single day, because we are trying to raise everyone's energy. We are trying to kind of lift everyone up. Sometimes we need to be the voice of reason to let you know not to get overly excited about things, that everything is under control. But it's the women in this community that yeah, the energy just absolutely lifts me up completely.
yeah.
So that I can't say enough. So there isn't any single person. It's kind of a
I
confluence
have
of
to agree
everyone.
totally. I'm
Yeah.
right with
Hey,
Marina
Karen.
on this. Yep. Yep.
Yeah, I am as well. I would totally agree. This community is just incredible. Um, but I have to say, my superhero was my mother, because she introduced me to all this, because this was part of her life, and so I grew up with this stuff. So I'd have to say my mother. Plus, right now, this community.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, that's it for tonight. Thank you, everybody, for coming and spending your time with us. Ladies, sorry we ran 2 minutes over.
That's okay.
But
That will be taken off on next week's schedule.
there we go. Reminder, starting next week, we will start meeting
Mhm.
an hour and a half later
Mhm.
than normal, because we're going to be
So
going
5:30 Pacific,
in
8:30 Eastern.
Eastern, right? So
Yeah.
we're going to be joining and encouraging and helping Colleen from the Cool Crone in her reveal the future meditation times, which will be at the same time as what we've normally been meeting at. And so, because we
Yeah.
want to help her grow this, we're
Yeah.
going to move us back a little bit so we can help her out with that, because we all feel very strongly about how important this is. So,
Yes.
um,
And now
thank
that
you
I've
very
reached,
much.
just a minute, now that I've reached 700 subscribers, remember to go, after this stream ends, go to my channel, Strawberry Rhubarb Tarot, and in the comments, put reading, and I will put your name into a box, and I'll do a draw for a
And if
free
you're not sure
30-minute
where the
reading.
channels are, if you're on my channel, you go in
Yep.
the description box. All their links are in the description box.
Yeah.
Yep.
And
So just a
same
click,
thing with mine.
a click, and you're there. Next week will be Allie. She and I switched weeks. So she will be our host next week. So we got to be
Wonderful.
sure we let her know. It's going to be an hour and a half later.
Yeah, yes, right.
And
Absolutely.
thank you,
Oh,
everybody, for
wonderful.
coming
Thank you.
so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Y'all have
Yeah.
a great week. Keep smiling. It's going to get better.